Hello everyone from Tokyo, Japan. My name is Hajime Sugiyama from Mitsubishi Electric, and I'm a digital manufacturing chief architect. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce our article in the IIC Journal of Innovation. It's talking about digital Kaizen, how Kaizen-driven approach can help you achieve realistic digital transformation in smart manufacturing. I hope you enjoy my talk. So, it has been about 10 years since Industry 4.0 came to everybody's ears, but I think the expectation and reality is totally different. Everybody agrees that smart manufacturing is necessary for their digital transformation strategy, actually 86%. But if you look at reality, even less than 9% of companies measure operating efficiency based on real-time data. So there's a big gap between our expectations we had 10 years and the reality we have on the factory floor today. It's because smart manufacturing is complicated, and it's not only about the digital engineering side, about the technology side. A factory is complex, and we have things that are not digital, like machinery or automation. We also have humans, and there's a lot of good things about humans as well because of the accumulative knowledge that we have from years of doing production on the factory site. So smart manufacturing is about merging not only the digital side, but also the machinery side, automation side, and the human side. I've been working in factory playing around with data for about 20 years, and I think there's a lot of experiences we have in Mitsubishi Electric that can help you find out what's wrong and what the right way to approach digital transformation on the factory floor is. So I think the things we learned from these 20 years from digital manufacturing is that you have to make simple KPIs and simple goals. You basically have to make a map, and this is what I want to explain later, and everybody has to agree on it. Because usually management have a lot of high expectations for using artificial intelligence, using robotics, using data analytics in the cloud, but sometimes you don't, and many times you don't achieve those results. So it's important to understand where our company is, what level we are, what level we want to reach, and what direction is our company going. At the same time, it's very, very important to calculate ROI, return on investment, because if you don't calculate return on investment, then you're just throwing away money. Manufacturing, we've always been trying to reduce costs by the cents. So if using these digital technologies don't help you reduce costs, then there's no meaning of doing it. So that's why it's very, very important to map things out, go that direction, and also look back if this is actually helping you achieve your return on investment. So this is the tool that we have created based on our bad and good experience in the past. It's what we call Smart Manufacturing Kaizen level. And there's basically two axes that we work on. The first is what we call the maturity level. Because your data maturity comes in steps. You don't suddenly are able to do artificial intelligence, analytics, or predict the future. The first thing is you have to collect data. After you collect data, then you go to the visualization step. Then you go to the analyze step. Then you go to the optimize step. And finally, it's a predict step. So this kind of maturity comes in step. But first, you have to be able to collect data in order to visualize data. So there's a step here. It's also what we call the management level. And basically, this is the area which you're trying to digitalize. First, you don't start with the entire factory. You start with a worker cell or a machine, for instance. After you get the worker cell part right, then you expand down the production line to a line level. And then, if your factory lines are automated and digitalized, then you can move to factory level and then connect to the supply chain. So this kind of digital maturity comes in step by step. So we make sure and agree with management which step we're going to and the results as well. And that's what we use, the Smart Manufacturing Kaizen tool. It's basically a kind of map to monitor our progress. So I'd like to introduce some case studies. This is actually an interstate case study. It's called a Pokayoke Empowered Worker. But it's basically a kind of digital assistance tool for assembly applications. Usually assembling automotive components or digital components is quite complex because there's a variety and different ways, different types of products that you're manufacturing. So at the end, the pain points are you have a long worker training period, and also there's a lot of assembly errors because they're looking at a manual and they're assembling on this side. And also, it's difficult to track the efficiency of each worker because the processes are so complex. So what we did is we are putting in this what we call a Pokayoke empowerment tool, which is basically it's a digital assembly monitoring screen where you just follow the instructions, and also the next steps you have to do in the assembly cell are lit up by lights, for instance. And if you follow this, then you're able to achieve less training. You don't need so much training because you're looking at a screen and following it, and it's easy to identify problems. We have actually video that I'm going to show you so you get a catch of what I'm talking about. So this is a Martinsoft, and it's a factory that employs mixed ability people. And here are the automotive components that they are assembling. So they're using automation to avoid mistakes that they had in the past, and at the same time, we're trying to assist the people with mental and physical disabilities and ensuring they can work smoothly together. So this is the Pokayoke system, you say. It's a Japanese production philosophy, and it means avoiding human error in production assembly. So there's various IoT tools installed here, like the barcode you just saw. Scan automatically moves after that according to the part. The part that you need automatically pops up the gate so you don't make mistakes in which part you're supposed to use. And it enables us to actively guide the worker through the production process. Plus, the quality is very, very good because there's no risk of making mistakes. This is also good for carbon neutral and energy saving productivity. The pain points of these kind of factories are finding out where you're using the energy. And we've installed this in factories, for instance, all over the world. This is an example in China where we're measuring energy consumption on the equipment level and summing up to see as a whole how much carbon we are emitting as a factory, and then looking again at the installation and equipment level to see where we can reduce the energy. Of course, if you get mature, you can do what we've always dreamed about doing, is making the perfect factory. The perfect automated factory where you place an order and automatically the production line is set up to make that product. You have the robots and AGVs roaming around, making it production. All the data is collected through edge computing, sent to the cloud for predictive maintenance, quality analysis, and it's just a perfect world. And it is possible to do this. We have the technology to do this today. And you actually can see an example because this is our factory, our model factory in Korea. It's making this pen stand, and as soon as it places the order, then the robots start working. You can see the total digital twin synchronized with the actual robot. But of course, this kind of automated technology takes a lot of time, so it's important to go step by step, but it is possible. So I think this is the end of my presentation, just some takeaways. I think what we wanted to explain in the IIC Journal of Innovation is KPIs, setting your map and agreeing with management is very, very important. And every step you make, you should review and actually see if you're getting the investment that you wanted. And we see digital manufacturing is also kind of simple Kaizen activity, an extension. It's mapping it, it's planning it, it's doing it, and it's checking it. And if there's any problems, taking action to correct those. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little helpful for you. So I hope to see you soon and enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you very much.